I'm Stefan Brand,
And I'm Matthew Tatsumi.
and this is our small video for CS1C with Professor Johnny. We're going to be talking about accessing internet, so specifically Wi-Fi properties, on both a Mac as well as a Windows computer. Okay, so I'm going to give a brief overview of how to access network preferences on a Mac. So I'm currently running Mac OS X Yosemite on a 11-inch MacBook Air, as you can see on the display. So there are two ways of accessing network preferences. One is directly on the System Preferences application, which is right here, starting. And the other way is just to click on the Wi-Fi icon in the top right-hand corner, and you can open network preferences here. So in the network preferences, you can see all the different devices that you can connect to, and obviously Wi-Fi is the preferred means of connection for internet. And here's a list of all the available networks that you can connect to. So for example, this is Stanford Residences, which gives me my internet. This is my printer, which is a direct Wi-Fi connection, which allows me to print. A couple of other printers and other networks like Stanford Secure, Stanford Visitor, etc. So looking into some of the more advanced options, the preferred networks list gives me basically a list of all the networks that I have already accessed, that I've already connected to. So for example, I have my high school Wi-Fi, I have the Panamanian airport Wi-Fi, I have the Amsterdam airport Wi-Fi, etc. So this also shows my Wi-Fi address, and on here on a separate tab you can actually see my IP address. So the configuration for the IPv4 is using DHCP, the Dynamic Host Control Protocol, which essentially says that the router assigns me an IP address, which is here, the IPv4 address, just under it, which I just highlighted. Now, what's interesting is that you can also see the configuration of the IPv6. Now, the difference between IPv4 and IPv6 is that IPv4 is 32-bit and IPv6 is 64-bit. And the reason why IPv6 exists is because we essentially ran out of IP addresses. So IPv4 had 4 billion addresses, and we actually ran out of those. And I think IPv6 has like something on the order of like 300 trillion addresses. And just to give an idea of how huge that actually is, IPv4, like on a size, on a ratio, is a post stamp compared to IPv6 being the size of the actual universe. So many websites have already adopted IPv6 addresses, such as Facebook, Google, YouTube, but for the common user, IPv4 is still sufficient.
Okay, so I am running a Windows on my laptop, Windows 10 to be specific, and on here there are actually 3 different ways to access your Wi-Fi settings. So one of the first ways is you hit this button, the Windows button in the bottom left corner, go up to Settings, hit Network and Internet, and there are your Wi-Fi settings right there. These are just basic settings though, so if you want to access anything more advanced, there's Advanced Options, which gives you a lot of the properties and stuff about your current setting. And also, there's Manage Wi-Fi Settings, which at the bottom shows you your past Wi-Fi settings that you've been using. So that's just one method though. Another method to access your Wi-Fi settings is on the bottom right corner here. There's a little indicator for your Wi-Fi settings, so you just left click that, and it gives you like basic overview that you can see in the settings before. But you could also click Network Settings and it'll bring you to the exact same page that you got to in the previous method. And the last method also comes from the bottom right corner. You click this Action Center icon and then it opens this up. Down here it's got your Wi-Fi right here. You just right click it and click Go to Settings. Takes you to the exact same page.
Blessings.